you've got that, you're all finished, right? Yes? Damon, are you finished? You're finished with this one?
Yep.
All right, your answer? 42. Good. Questions on that? No? All right. Divide 31 by 8 and write the quotient as a decimal number. Okay, so here we're going to do this example because our decimal number is a little bit different than we've seen in the past. So Destiny, you're up. Divide 31 by 8. So is 31 under the tent or outside of it? Under. Divided by 8. How many 8s go in 3? None. How many 8s go in 31? 3. 8 times 3? How many left?
7.
Good. Then what do I need to do? Add a 0. But in order for me to add a 0 here, what do I need to make really sure that I put? My decimal. Good. When the decimal isn't there, when it's assumed, and you add a 0, make sure that that decimal point goes in there. If you need to make it big, if you need to just write it at the beginning, make sure you put it in. Okay? Portia, if we don't put it in, what might happen?
Then it's going to be wrong.
It's going to be wrong. We might forget to put it up, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we can't forget that. This decimal point has to go up. Okay? Otherwise we're not... So, for you then, make sure you do it right at the beginning, okay? You can even put it up where you know it goes before you even start dividing, okay? If that's helpful. Make those little tricks. Figure out how to help yourself so that you don't get the wrong answers, only because of the decimal in the wrong spot, okay? Those will be wrong on a test, so we got to practice how we play, right? So make sure on our homework we practice well, okay? I know you guys do this. Our assumed decimal, send her up, okay? Destiny, keep me going. So now we've got that 0. I can drop her down. How many 8s in 70? 8. 8 times 8? 64. How many left? 6. Good. Doesn't work. Looks good. So what do? We got another 0. Drop her down. How many 8s in 60? 7. 8 times 7? How many left? Now what? Add another 0. Drop her down. How many 8s in 40? 5. Good. So however many zeros you've got, we've got a number, a digit over every space that we have up here. 5 times 8. Exact. So there is our exact answer. Right? As soon as we've got our remainder of 0, we've got our exact decimal answer. Okay? Any questions on that? How we do it? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits under our tent, so we need to have 5 taken care of. If you don't put that little 0, just make sure it's distinct where those digits are, so you keep your spots in line. Okay? All right, all right. Divide and round to 2 decimals. Okay, so we're still working on our division, but now, if I had said divide and round to 2 decimal places, do you have enough information to do that here, Portia?
No, 2 decimal places?
Divide and round to 2 decimal places. If that was the instructions for this, what would I need to do with what I've got?
Oh, we can do that.
We can do that.
Because we can use the extra numbers back there.
Exactly.
2 round.
Exactly.
And divide is how you want to get the extras and all.
Exactly. So what do I want to circle? If I want to round to 2 decimals, which number up there do I want to circle?
The 7 or the 5.
Which one?
The 7.
The 7. Good, I agree. Because we're going to look at which one?
1, 2. Or look at the 5.
We're going to look at the 5 in order to round and have 2 decimals.
It's going to go up.
It's going to go up. So if I had told you to round, what would this answer be, Portia?
3.880.
Okay, and we don't need that 0. So just knock her off. Just like that, okay? Knock the 0 off. Decimals, leave it off, okay?
Cool.
Alright, so we rounded. If this one had said round to 2 decimals, anytime you have to round to 2 decimals, you're going to need that third to know if the second stays the same or goes up, right? So if this had been a 4 or below, our number would have been 3.87, right? 5 and above, 3.88, okay? So take a look at example 7.6. divide and round. Okay, I'm not going to do this one on the board. I want you guys all looking on in your book. We're dividing 0.004415 by 0.032. Okay, so in that first picture, they wrote it out for us. We counted. We had to move the decimal spot how many times, Jamaica, in order to get that one with a whole number in front of the tent? You're on the right page there. How many times do we need to move the decimal in 0.032 in order to get a whole number in front of the tent? 0.032. How many times do we need to move that decimal in order to get a whole number in front of that tent? Exactly, 3 times. So we move the decimal 3 times, which means in our number under the tent, we need to move it 3 times also. Question?
Yeah. Can we practice a problem?
You want to practice this one?
Yeah, on the board.
Sure. Alright, so 0.032 outside the tent, 0.00404. Will you use black for me so the camera can see it? Thank you. Crochet. Right here. Alright. Come this way. There you go. Alright. So, where do we start? Here. First we
move out this place.
Go
to
for
make
it.
it a whole number.
Make it a whole number.
1, 2, and 3.
Good. And then right after that, you've got it taken care of.
Then we're going to say 1, 2, and 3.
Good. And then, hold on. What do I want you to do? After this, because you got so many humps going on, what do you want to do?
Rewrite the
problem.
Do we need that 0?
You don't need that 0. Why don't you, can you move it up here a little bit for us? Careful. Divided into. You're good. You've still got it right. Just make sure our words are right. 32 into. Not divided by. The number under the 10.
I've been saying it all my life.
Well, that's why we're fixing it now.
Alright.
Alright. So now, your trick that you're going to make sure to do every time, you almost did it up, or you did do it up here. Make sure you do it again. The first thing you want to do.
Bring it up.
Good. Cover your bases. Okay? So now how many 32s? In 4. None. So give me that 0 in front of the decimal. Put that spot to rest. Not there. You want that to stay a 4. You can't
I know
change
that, but I'm going to put a 0 right there.
How come?
0 on top of it.
Yeah, you want a 0 up here, above the 4.
Oh.
There you go. So 32 into 4, no times. 32 into 44.
1 time.
1 time. Okay? Give it to me. Okay? Count it. 4 minus 2.
I just did it. It was like 12.
I know, like 12. 4 minus 2.
2.
2 and 4 minus 3.
1.
1.
Told you.
12. I know.
Told you.
Told me correctly. So this looks good, right? That number is smaller, so it works. So what do we do next? Careful.
Oh, Lord, blue cross. Okay. Look, we're going to bring that 4 down.
Careful.
Why?
Bring the 1.
Bring E to the 44.
Oh,
What's
already
next?
did it.
Bring the
Okay.
1 down. Good. So how many 32s into 121? What do you think? You tell me. How many 32s into 121? Someone want to help her out? 5. Jamaica brings 5.
Hold on.
4 times 5.
10.
Carry the 1.
15, 16. 160 rounds.
That, no,
4.
too many.
Too big.
4.
Mine says 4.
I think it's 32 times 3. They're going to be 6, 9, 96.
96. Looks good.
So they're going to be 3,
Oh.
96. 121 minus 96.
Bye-bye.
They're going to be 5. They're going to be 0. They're going to be 0. They're going to be 9, 10. They're going to be 25.
Good.
We want to bring down that 5 again.
Good.
Now we got to figure out how many times to 32 into 2 is 55.
How many times do you think? Pick something. Try it. What do you think? Damon, what do you want to try? How many 32s go in 255?
About 5.
About 5?
About 6.
About 6?
About 5.
About
We already tried 5. About 40.
I don't think 6 is enough.
That's
7.
192.
It's about 9.
I'm trying about 8.
It's about 7.
Try 8.
Try 7.
16.
Are we try 7?
It's
One
about
for
8.
She's
25.
trying
256.
Look, there you go.
So it should be 7.
All right, 7. There's my math for you.
Hold up. Please let me throw up. No. Hold up for real.
Okay. Now, as long as this math works out, careful. It worked for you that time. So 31, is that less than 32?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, this isn't 0, right? So this isn't your exact answer. Can you step this way for me? Okay. This isn't her exact answer, right? Because we still have a remainder. We could move this decimal on and on and on until we got a remainder of 0, which might never happen, right? You guys know that there are some decimals that go on forever?
Yeah.
Okay? So, with these, it tells us in the instructions to divide and round to 2 decimals. Okay?
What's that thing called when you do your decimal to make it go like it's looking forever? Oh, a repetent. A repetent line.
The bar over top?
The bar.
Like that?
Yeah.
Just the repetent.
You know, I honestly don't remember. We can look it up. The repetin.
Bar.
Okay. We'll
Like
go
you
with
put a
that.
line that's showing that it stopped and it repetent.
Yep, it repeats forever. I just call it the bar.
I call it the bar.
Call it the bar. Yep. So, we're not going to give it a bar because we don't want to figure out what repeats. It says to round to 2 decimals. So what am I going to do with 0.137 to round to 2 decimals?
We need to round it up.
Go for it. Let's erase that 0.6 for your sake.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do round 137. What they want me to round it by though?
I want you to round to 2 decimals. I want there to be 2 decimals.
2.
Careful, we don't move the decimals. We need to keep the integrity of our number. So it still has to be 0 point something. But I want to round to 2 decimal places.
So they're gonna be tens, hundred.
Uh-huh. So in order to keep 2 decimals, you need to keep that space. I want a digit in that space, but that's the last digit I want.
A 0.
Okay? So, it's like the one we did before. If I want to keep that space, okay, this is the number I'm going to end with. So that's the one I circle, and I'm going to look at the one behind it.
That's rounding.
That's rounding. I said to round to 2 decimal spots.
That's only 0.14.
Good. So your answer to this problem is 0.14. Good. Good. All right. Any questions on that? Portia.
14.
Okay, so she did all of her math. We had 0.137. If we round to 2 decimal spots, that means we need to keep a number in the second spot. So that's the one we're going to circle. Look at the one behind it. So in order to round to 2 decimals, you have to have 3. When you do this math, take it out to 3 decimal spots. Make sure your math looks good, that last decimal is the right one. Okay? It works. She picked 7. 7 was perfect. 31 left. If there had been 33 left, that 7 would have needed to go up, right? In this case, it wouldn't have changed our answer, but if it was a difference between a 4 and a 5, makes a big difference, right? You're going to be off by a decimal, and that would be incorrect. So be careful with those, okay? So here, 0.137 rounds to 0.14. Questions?
No.
None? All right, let's turn our page. Page 30 is our estimation page, okay? 7.C, estimation. So, estimation is a technique. We're going to use that technique to help ourselves out to figure out if we are going in the right direction, okay? We like estimation because it gives us an idea of what the right answer should be, somewhere around. How we estimated on that first one, right? We had done 63 point something by 4.1 something, and we estimated 60. Damon, eyes up here, mouth shut. Eyes up here. Facing forward. Fix it. Thank you. All right. We did 60 times 4. So Damon estimated for us and got us 240, and our answer was 260 point something. So it's to give us our ballpark figure of what our answer should be, somewhere close. Okay? So all of those words, let's look at our paragraph. Make sure that you guys understand how the book puts it. Okay? So estimation is a technique that is used to check whether an answer is reasonable.